Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Bread and Butter Vids YouTube. In today's episode, we are going to be doing some gift analysis. Also, if you may or may not have noticed that I have some new channel art, and I'm proud to be announcing that I'm going to be changing my name from Bread and Butter Vids to Electro Tech. So you can call me Brit, Electro, or my real name, Derek. Anyways, today we are just going to be reviewing each of the new gifts that were just added a month ago and you were just able to open them yesterday. We're going to be reviewing them and rating them from 1 to 6 to see which one is the best. And the categories for them will be decoration / design, usefulness, and logical. So basically, let's get right into it, starting off with the logical. Coming in at number 6 is the bowl, because there's really not much you can do with this bowl in terms of logic. It doesn't really roll, you can't put anything in it because of its hitbox, so it's just kind of a useless item. Coming in at number 5 is the burnt painting, and the reason why this isn't at number 6 is because it can be used for some logical bits because of its coloring, so it can fit in quite nicely, and its size is pretty good. So coming in at number 4 is the noob head gift, and don't ask me why it's stuck in the ground. I don't have an answer, but basically it's just there's really not much you can do. You can put on the backs of cars, but that's really the only thing. Maybe I'll find another use for it in the future. Coming in at number 3 is the rusty axe, because it's rusty and no one likes it. No, I'm kidding. It's a good thing. All axes are good for logic because they're good items that you can have in your system, like in a vending machine type build. But like I said, like with the other couples, there's really nothing you can do with this. Coming in at number 2 is the daisy ball, because this is one of the only items that you can actually use in logic, because you can use it as a randomizer, or you could use it just because, or you could use it to build a ball track that's automated with logic. There's a lot of cool uses you can do with this, but now to move on to number 1. Coming in at number 1 is the Burger Cola, and you may be surprised by this. Well, it's because the Burger Cola, like the ball, can roll, but since it's shaped in a cylinder, it only rolls 2 directions instead of all of them. And this is super useful for logic because you could have it go one way or another way without having to worry about building a specific track for it. Coming in at number 6 for decoration is the rusty axe, because there's not much you can decorate with it. I guess you could use it as a display or in a display case, but there's not much charm to it, let's be honest. Moving on, number 5 is going to be the daisy gift, daisy ball, because there's really also not much charm to it. You could use it in some lights or lamps. I don't really know, I'm not a good builder. But you could use it in some cases, but it's not really a decoration item. I consider it more of a logical item. Coming in at number 4 is the noob head. Now this can be really useful for shopkeepers in some shops, or you could just use it as a cool decoration item on a shelf. There's a lot of uses for the noob head. I'm not gonna go over them all, but it has a solid place. Anyways, let's move on. Next in line is the burnt painting, and the reason why this is in this spot is because not of its picture, but of its back, because on its back there's an interesting blend of wood that you can't see from any other wood, so this could be really useful in terms of large-scale building operations. Anyways, let's move on to number 2. Coming in at number 2 is gonna have to be the Burger Cola. You may be wondering why this isn't number 1. Well, it's because there are some uses for it, like in restaurants, but there's really not a general use for it out of restaurants and other dinner places. Anyways, let's move on to number 1. Coming in at number 1 is the bowl, because this can not only be used in restaurants, but it can also be used in almost any build in super creative ways. For example, you could turn it upside down, build a little lamp. You could turn it sideways, put 2 of them together to create like a chime. You could create like a gong. There's tons of stuff you can create with this bowl. Anyways, let's move on to the third category. Now, coming in at number 6 for the third category, which is general use in terms of advancing in the game, is the bowl. Now, this was just number 1, and now it sinks down to number 6 because besides decoration, there's nothing else you can use with this gift. So it's pretty bad, to be honest. Anyways, let's move on to number 5. Coming in at number 5 is the Burger Cola, and the reason this is at number 5 instead of number 6 is because you can also use it in logic, and I know that's completely unrelated, but when you're starting out, you may want to build some quick logical circuits, so this could be helpful. Also, it's cheap and easy to resell, and that's one of the reasons why it's in number 5. Anyways, let's move to number 4. Coming in at number 4 is the Burnt Painting, and the reason this one's coming in at number 4 rather than number 5 or 6 is because it is really easy to resell, and that's because it was bought in the maze, and a lot of people get lost in the maze and they give up on buying them. So having this item could be reselling really expensive. So make sure if you have some of these and you don't have that much money, make sure to resell them and restock while you still can, because Default has left the presence in the game for a little longer than he usually does. Anyways, coming in at number 3 is the Noob Head, and it's still stuck in the ground. I'm not going to fix that, but basically, Noob Head is a really important item because it makes your trucks not flip as easy. And while this is a myth, I will test it in a future episode, I think. I don't know. But besides the fact of that, it looks cool to have on, and you can also resell them because they're in a lot of demand for shops. Anyways, let's move on to number 2. Coming in at number 2 is the Daisy Ball, and you may be wondering why. Well, it's because this ball can resell for very high prices to logical people like me, and it's also pretty useful in some early logical builds, which might help you out. But the sole reason why it's here is because it's yellow. Finally, the number 1 gift for general use is the Rusty Axe, because it's an axe, duh, you can cut with it. I mean, it's the most useful thing here. Am I right? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this slightly rushed video. They're all like that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. This is all my opinion, by the way. Don't take it too seriously. Leave your own opinions in the comments. I want to see what you guys think. Anyways, this is going to be it for me. And the number 1 item of 2019 is